fan base here. You came off the bench and scored an absolute worldie. How do you feel?
Yeah, over the moon. I got a brilliant reception when I came on. I had a good time at West Ham. But obviously I've got to move on with Man United, and I've got to do my best for Man United. So, like I say, I've been working hard, and to overcome last week, weren't easy, but to get some minutes today and score was brilliant.
Do you feel like that is a little bit of retribution for yourself? You just brought it up what happened midweek. You've got to make it up to the fans today.
Yeah, mistakes happen in football, and that's one of the only mistakes I've probably made in my career in football. But you got to overcome them things. Things happen. You got to bounce back like we did today.
David, for you, one hell of a moment really at the end there. When you saw Mark Noble coming off the bench, did you think he was going to take the penalty?
No, to be honest, I saw Rice with the ball, so I was expecting him to take the penalty. Then I saw Noble coming with the ball, so it was the last minute of the game, make the save. So great goal from Jesse, he deserves, to be honest, and massive 3 points for us.
What was going through your head at that moment?
Just save the ball, save the penalty, help the team to win. It's always difficult to play here against West Ham.
And they just wanted to defend, and I have to say the two centre halves and the goalkeeper did do exceptionally well, but to go ahead as late on as we did with a superb goal, and it couldn't have happened to a better person as well, in Jesse Lingard, not just because it's West Ham, but because he'd want to eradicate what happened on Tuesday night and put it well behind him. And with a goal like that, and I bet his heart must have sunk when the penalty was given. No arguments about the penalty. No. It was a penalty. The only thing that I would say justifies the fact that we came away with the 3 points is why Martin Atkinson refused to check the 2 penalties and clear penalties that we should have had just before that in the second half. He didn't, and David De Gea makes a brilliant save. Not too sure after what happened in the summer why David Moyes thought it was a good idea for Mark Noble to come on when he'd not even kicked a ball in anger. And we saw what happened, the results in the summer, and it's happened again today to West Ham, but justifiably so, because I don't understand what VAR's there for if Martin Atkinson wasn't prepared to check. And if he had checked, he would have seen that both were penalties, as was the one that West Ham got, I have to say.
What's good? I've only asked you one question, and you've sort of summed up everything. We can nip back to the first half now. What do you think of Ronaldo's opening goal?
Brilliant ball again from Bruno Fernandes. We spoke about it before the show, didn't we? In the link-up that they have, and it was going behind that actually really spurred us on to start playing some decent football. And it was a brilliant ball in. And again, I said it before, he's going to score lots and lots of those goals that are just tap-ins. But what was brilliant about it was Fabianski made a decent save, but he was the first one to react, and he was in straight away. And no question, yes, last season he would have been offside because his arm was out there. Not this season, and correct decision. And again, gets United back into the game, deservedly so. And we were hoping that in the second half we would have run away with it, really, because we were much the better team. And had Ronaldo scored right at the start of the second half, that would have been different.
I spent the whole second half just thinking about that moment and thinking, we could be winning here, we could be winning here, we could be winning here. But he just carried on, didn't he? And I suppose that's what great players do. We should, I suppose, touch on Benrahma's goal. It came off Varane in the end.
It was unfortunate, wasn't it? There's nothing that there was an incident slightly earlier than that when De Gea had saved it with his foot. There was nothing he could have done. Varane, in his attempt to try and get as close to him as he possibly could to block it, it's just come off his sort of midriff and diverted it totally the wrong side to David De Gea. Not what they deserved, but they are always a threat with the players that they've got. We saw it sporadically today, I think. They're not the same team without Antonio in it. They don't have the same battling qualities when they get into the final third, but it's still a tough place to come, and I'm quite happy to have predicted the right result.
You did, yeah, I was very impressed. You did it this time, so we've just beaten West Ham. Next up, West Ham, same again?
It'll be, I would imagine, two completely different teams, but it's still a trophy, and it's still something that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will want to progress in. No, I don't think there's any danger that he's just going to turn around and say, well, we'll play the under-23s, for example. That won't happen, but I would imagine that we will see two different starting 11s on Wednesday night.
Awesome. Ben, thank you so much. We'll hand you back to Manchester.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, sure, it will be different starting lineups for the Cup, but an intriguing game nonetheless. We're going to have a look at all the fixtures and results from the weekend. Then, of course, the big game still to come, Tottenham and Chelsea. But it's been another fascinating weekend of Premier League football, which all began on Friday night actually with that Newcastle United 1 Leeds 1 game. Good wins for Brentford and Arsenal and Watford away from home. They're the 3 away winners. Liverpool thumped Palace in the end. City, that was a surprising draw, wasn't it? Did you see much of that game? What's the highlights of that one? And Southampton could have won it.
Only saw the highlights, Mark. You're right, Southampton could have won it. It just shows how important it is to pick up the maximum 3 points against anybody, whether you're at home or whether you're away. If you can pick up the 3 points, and unfortunately for us, City didn't pick up the 3 points, you can end up getting frustrated at the result.
Villa, a really good win against Everton. And Luke, Brighton winning again. They are flying, aren't they? Beating Leicester today. That's a terrific result for them.
Yeah, they've had a brilliant start to the season. I think last season they showed improvements under Graham Potter. I think they struggled sort of to score the goals needed to get the results. But I think Graham Potter's proved to be an excellent sort of a manager for them since coming in. No one had heard of him that much, but the